So welcome everyone to Xend Finance DeFi Hackathon 2021. Today's workshop is a very special one. We have Chad Liu with Tidal DeFi Finance. And today, if you didn't know, we've actually signed an agreement with Tidal Finance on being our protocol insurance provider. Tidal Finance is doing some amazing work in the insurance space, something that's much needed, making sure that accounts don't get hacked, that protocols don't get hacked, but also ensuring that everyone's funds are secure. I'm going to let Chad Liu, the CEO of Tidal Finance, talk a little bit more about what Tidal Finance does. And of course, Chad, we are speaking to a lot of developers, a lot of entrepreneurs, but also just a lot of people in the DeFi space interested in learning something new. So I'll let you take it over. At the end, anyone who's streaming in right now, if you leave your best questions in the YouTube stream, we have a $100 reward pool. So the top 5 questions will be entitled to a $20 reward. So make sure you pay attention and ask some good questions, and we'll be able to ask that towards the end of the presentation. Welcome, Chad.
Hi, thank you. Hey, everyone. Thank you, Kevin, for putting all this together. We know each other for a while, and I know we'll go very well. A little background about myself. So my name is Chad. I have an engineer and finance background. We started building Tidal Finance since last year. So I came to crypto about 4 years ago, starting doing investing. And since last year, this kind of pain point came to realization that the user need to be protected in DeFi. And back then, right, like Nexus Mutual was pretty famous on the market. And we compare their business model and what's missing in the industry, and we start building Tidal Finance. So with Xend Finance, I think we know each other back since like February. Back then, like 2 protocols are building together, and like back then we start collaborating. And Tidal we launched about late July. And so far, we've been live about 3 months. And the collaboration with Xend Finance, right? Just a little bit background. Since we launched, we've been working together. We are protecting Xend Finance TVL. So it's been $1 million protected for 3 months now. And the Xend Finance reserve pool on Tidal Finance have about 1.6 million to date. So and we are very excited for Xend Finance new feature launch as well. And very soon that Xend Finance will also increase the protection, the TVL from Tidal Finance. And we are also rolling out new features that providing coverage to Xend Finance end user as well. So yeah, for sure, like we're doing a lot of new things together, and it's been a pretty happy collaboration. So diving into decentralized insurance, right? So from the industry overview, I would say, right now the use case is to protect users a smart contract hack. And I'm pretty sure it's not news for, it's not really new for everyone. Like we can see the hacks happening like pretty frequent, in the last few months. So there's a few ways the protocol can hedge that kind of risk. One is audit reports. One is internal, like more robust testing, and also insurance, right, is coming to the space, and also the bug bounty. So those are the security measures that the protocol can do to themselves. And we are focusing on providing the best insurance service to the protocols. And right now, if you look at the insurance, there's about 2 kinds of service. One is to offer directly to end users that you can buy from different platforms. The end user have to do their own research to make sure, in what case it's protected, and if something happens, how do you file the case and how do you get compensated? We focus on the protocol level, insurance, because we feel there's a pain point that the industry is missing, that when hack happens, even though their end user could get some protection from somewhere else, but the team still have a lot of responsibility to recover from their own treasury, right? They either have to figure out a new recovery plan for the next 6 months, or even like longer, or they have to use some certain treasury fund to reimburse their users right away. That's where Tidal comes in. So we're focusing on serve the protocol team first, but not saying like the end user can directly buy is not important. So in my opinion, I think both have to be a mixture of existence for the future of insurance, because putting all the cost to protocol team is also not realistic. So it has to be like a protocol team plus their user combining purchase is a way to go, and that's what we are solving as well, how to provide that service seamlessly to the project teams and their user. So being said that, right, that's the current landscape on the insurance space on smart contracts. What's the challenge right now in this space I want to emphasize is, it's the supply and the demand, because in any insurance platforms, right, or any market, you need enough supply and you need enough demand. So when it comes to insurance, supply and demand is who want to provide coverage, right? They deposit their asset to back your policy, and the demand will be, whoever want to get covered. That is quite challenging right now in the space, and I would say on the demand side, right? Like for example, the buy side, end users and protocol teams. One is there's not enough awareness that insurance always come a bit later to the play. They always, the first goal, of course, you want to earn yield, you want to give the best return on your liquidity provider's asset. So insurance is going to eat into that yield. So of course that's comes to second play. But with awareness, like we're pushing to educate protocol teams to educate their end users, and also we have seen like many hacks happening in the space. So I think that situation is getting better. The second is the cost, right? So the average affordable cost is between, I would say, like between 2% to 5% on a yearly basis, which means, if it's 5%, if, for example, Xend Finance is getting $1 million coverage from us, so 5% is equals to $50K a year. So that's a cost they're paying. It's still a little bit on the higher side, in my opinion. So how to lower that price is also what we're trying to figure out. So that's on the demand side. That's the two main challenges. On the supply side, we want to provide coverage. So one is the earning, right? So because for people providing coverage, that's what they want to do is always to earn yield. So if the buy side want to pay a very low premium, the supply side, may not be attractive enough for them to provide insurance. So that's one challenge, and also the risk could be too high, right? Because right now, where the hacks happens, even though it would bring more awareness to the users want to buy insurance, but from the sell side, when the risk become too high, it's kind of like a setback for them to provide liquidity. So that's the current challenge in the space, and how we are solving this problem. First, from the demand side, we try to target the protocol team first, because we realize, educating the end users, especially DeFi is pretty complex space. For them to understand using one protocol is already like a challenge. And when they go to a different platform and trying to understand how the other platform works, and if something happens, how do they file the claim, get reimbursed, it just adds another whole level of complexity for end users. So that's why we focus on B2B model first. And later on, we're trying to extend to their customers through their own business. So we think there's an easier way to bring more users to the space. And second, we try to charge like fairly low price, right? for the to make it affordable for the protocol teams and the end users. And we are so our model is a weekly subscription plan. So as long as you have a balance in your payment account, your policy will be active. So there's no upfront payments. You can adjust your coverage up and down anytime during the week. I guess finally, how we want to lower the cost is when we provide the insurance to protocol teams and their end users, right? Like both parties will pay into the plan. So each party won't be paying so much on their own individually. So that's a vision we have, trying to lower the cost on the buyer side. On the seller side, right, we want to provide coverage. We building leveraged design into the platform. By saying that, meaning like when you sell coverage, for example, our platform right now, Xend Finance is one policy you can back up, but there's also other 10 policies live on the platform. So once you back up all the policies, we allowed you to back up all the policies. And when you do all the policies, you can earn from multiple resources at the same time. So you're compounding your earnings, adding up all your earnings with policies you're backing. Of course, you're taking a higher risk. If one of the policies go default, your capital may get claimed and slashed for the payments. But at the same time, you're earning like so much more than backing up one policy. Because the reason of backing up one policy will never work is think about it, if the buyer side who want to buy insurance only pay 2 to 5%, and if I can only sell to one policy, I'm only earning 2 to 5%. And with that earning, it doesn't make sense, right? Why I'm earning that much and taking a so high risk of losing my capital. So that's the core design that Tidal is building for the South for why we're providing insurance to make a high earning. So besides that, right, we finding all different ways to mitigate the risk. So the audit reports, most clients on our side have to go through like more than 2 audit reports. And our team will also do a final check on the code cleanness and the structure. The bug bounty program that we're working with Immufy closely to make sure all the policies will have a bug bounty. And also we work closely with our auditors, security experts. So just a few days ago, one of the security partners, they published a flash loan detection and alert system. So we're planning to, apply that to all our clients' smart contract when there's like a malicious flash loan transactions. Will give the alert right away to mitigate the losses. And even when the loss happens, right, the hack happens, there's so much things the protocol team can do right away behind the scene, to trace the hackers and to block the hackers, to contact exchanges, to preventing them cash out. So this service that we're building to mitigate the risks of and try to recover the fund as much as possible. So those are the few core things that Tidal is working on to solve, like on a high level, to solve the supply and demand problem in this insurance space. So yeah, so being said that, I think let's apply to Xend Finance, right? We're working right now together. and what's the use case like with Xend Finance protocol and their users. So currently, that there's $1 million coverage. Xend Finance is covered by Tidal, which means under hack or attack, if Xend Finance lost over $1 million, right, that $1 million will be paid out to Xend Finance protocol, and they can use to compensate the hacker, compensate their users, or to do different things to help them recover the protocol. And also, if you back up Xend Finance, to provide coverage for them, you'll be earning 20. I think right now is about 24% APR by providing USD to back up Xend Finance policy. And in this, there's around 3% USDC earning. You'll be earned from the USD payment from the Xend Finance, and you'll be on top of that, you'll be earning around 20% APR of Tidal tokens. Because right now we're incentivizing all the pools and liquidity providers on the platform to provide more reserves. And hopefully through this collaboration, right, like our platform also trying to promote our partners, new features, new developments, because the end goal here, right, by adding a safety layer to you is to help you grow the users, to help you bootstrap more liquidity. So for example, Xend Finance have this DeFi layer 2, right, coming out, the export. So I've been talking with Google actually already for a few weeks now to prepare this feature release, and we also need to understand it. We also need to do all the sanity check on the security measures. Like, did you guys go through all the reports? Did you guys have a bug bounty running? So we have certain criteria to make sure you have a safe feature launch. And we will use our platform to educate our community and our users to a broader audience as well to help you promote that feature. So yeah, being said all that, I think that's the service we are providing to your community, to all our clients. And so I think what we're looking at next, right? It's from you guys. You guys will have this new feature release in about 2 or 3 weeks, and by that time we will add that extra security to this new feature as well. And we are working behind the scene, how much coverage we can provide and how much coverage like you guys waiting to purchase to help this new feature launch. And to the very next step, right, we are rolling out the new features to provide coverage to the end users as well, meaning your user can purchase some of the coverage if they want to get their position covered as 100%. Because if you only rely on protocol, you may not get always covered by 100%. So for example, if your TVL become 10 million, you're buying 1 or 2 million cover from us. Assume you lost like over $2 million, you can only cover up to 2 million, right? So in that case, the end user may not get 100% covered, but there might be a need for some users have a large stakeholders. They want to get their own portion covered 100%, and you can do that very soon now to get yourself protected. And you can even use either USD or even Xend token, native token as a payment currency to do that. So which we think is very powerful to also to add a very strong utility to your token. Yeah, so being said all that, I think there's a lot of things coming up, pretty exciting. I'll stop here and move on to the questions.
Hey, Chad, thank you very much for that. It was very informative and really appreciate the kind words towards Xend Finance. And of course, we are very excited for our community because this means that they can save and they can invest and they can transfer their money, their hard-earned money to stable coins and of course earn higher interests. So we're very excited about this partnership that we have with you. Let's start with some of these questions. So once again, if you are watching, feel free to leave a question on the YouTube comments. The best questions we will post and you will make $20. I'll call out your name and that way you'll know. But the first question we have is question number 1 from YouTube name of Trevor's Go. What are the important steps taken to ensure that the customers of Tidal Finance have their assets in crypto protected from hackers and scammers, as there is an ever-growing number of scammers trying to hack into and drain money from all? Thank you so much.
So right now we're providing coverage on the smart contract hacks and exploits. So in the case of, most common cases, flash loan attacks when manipulating the price, causing the imbalance in any pool, and so they can drain the pool. So we are protecting that sort of cases. And when that happens, for example, we pay Xend Finance on the to business level. And from that point, I think we will also then from at that point, Xend Finance will have, for example, a list of damaged wallets from their own users and who got, hacked how much. And then depends on how much the damage and how much they got paid, and that will be proportionally reimbursed to the end users. So that'll be the use case.
Great. Question number 2 comes from YouTube name of Kriza Demesa. What projects have you already worked with? Tell us a successful story.
Well, Xend Finance is one of them. I mean, they've been here with us since we launched. Besides Xend Finance, we have another 7 active policies right now. We are onboarding about at least 3 next month. So over the time, I hope this becomes a more like a norm for all the projects, and we are here to help all the projects. And my goal is to probably bring over 20 or close to 30 policies in the next few months. Yeah.
That's great to hear. Third question is from YouTube name of Shankar Adling. Tell me something about security audits you look at from projects.
That's a really good question. So I mean, right now we look at we have 2 security audited partners we work with. So they will do a quick scan of their existing, our current partners' existing audit reports. So that's pretty much like we're doing now, because we don't really have a lot of capacity to do audits for each partners over again. But in terms of audits, right, the quality of audits, I think there's like 2, I would say like 2 tiers. One type of audits is actually more internal testing. So you have to test a lot of business logics, and that could take a very long time. I would say at least 3 months to 6 months. Even when you launch, ourselves is continually writing unit tests to test business logic to make sure everything is okay. So that part is kind of hard for auditors to help you. It's all the team have to internally writing test scripts to make sure everything runs fine. But when the audits come in, they do help on just a few some I would say common mistakes like the protocol would make. So they will quickly pick that out and make sure that's got fixed. Yeah.
Okay, great. Question number 4 comes from the YouTube name of Salami Joy. That's a good name. What are the revenue sources to back up the 24% APR loss mitigation policy of Tidal Finance? And he has a 2-part question, so it's more difficult now. And the number 2, won't using Xend tokens cause devaluation if Xend value drops in the long term?
Okay, well, let's do one by one. Could you repeat the first part again?
Sure. What are the revenue sources to back up the 24% APR loss mitigation policy of Tidal Finance?
So the 24%, do you mean like where does that come from? Like how that earning come from? So obviously like that come from like 2 right now, right? So one is the money that Xend Finance is paying us. So for example, they are paying us around $900 every week right now to get them self-covered, and that is going to who's setting coverage, right, for that policy. 90% of that money is majority going there. And on top of that, we incentivize some Tidal tokens as well. So this part is more like liquidity mining that we are injecting into the policy pool. Whoever back them up, they can earn some Tidal tokens on top. So that's combines where is that 24% come from? But in case of Xend Finance got hacked or exploited, there's a payout, and whoever selling that coverage into that pool, their USD will be taken out to as a insurance payout. So that's a flow there.
Okay, and then the second part of his question was, won't using Xend tokens cause devaluation if the Xend value drops in the long term?
We don't use Xend tokens as a reserve. So I think that may be the part, I don't know, I'm trying to guess where the questions come from. So the Xend Finance pool, for example, the insurance pool has nothing to do with the Xend tokens. Xend Finance is paying us right now USD as a cost to get covered. And also the pool only bootstrap USD from whoever else is depositing into that pool to earn yield. So it doesn't have anything to do with Xend tokens.
Okay, great. And that will be our final question. So Chad, if you could do me a favor for anyone who's watching out there, if they want to follow Tidal Finance, should they go to the Twitter account, to the website? You want to give everyone watching kind of like some links where they could go to in case they want to find out more about Tidal Finance?
Sure, yeah, just go to our website, Tidal Finance, and you can join our community. On Telegram, we have a pretty big group on there, Discord, and the app is live, very easy to use. If someone want to earn, provide some USD and earn some yield, you can earn. Right now, it's close to 200%, 160% on the app, and and if you want to get covered, from Xend community, we will provide that kind of feature very soon as well.
Great to hear. So that is great. So once again, the Twitter handle is actually a little bit different. I believe the Twitter handle is Tidal DeFi, and the website is tidal.finance. So for anyone out there, if you want to find out more information, you can go to those two. I want to thank Chad for joining us, taking some time out of your day to kind of explain this process. And once again, anyone can be involved in being an insurance provider, protocol provider. So it's very interesting, and it's a very exciting concept. So we're excited to be doing business with Tidal Finance, and of course, ensuring that our customers and our members actually have this ease of mind and security for what we're doing here. I want to remind you that next week we have a panel session on November 4th. It's Social Media Influencers Panel and how to grow your project's social media followers. So you're going to want to tune in for that. That's once again, it's November 4th, and all of our panel sessions are 3 p.m. +1 UTC time. So you can always kind of know what time slot that's going to be. But if you miss it, you can also go to our YouTube page, and we upload our videos there roughly around the following week. So thanks for tuning in, and we will see you for next time's session. Thanks again, Chad.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.